Good evening, race fans, and welcome to Backfire Simsport TV, and welcome to the Grand Touring Club Cup, Season 3, Round 4, brought to you live from the fantastic Road Atlanta. I'm Clyde Whiting, and in the booth with me tonight, and also doing the cameras, it is our very own Princess Pete. Good evening.
Good evening. Yeah, it's going to be chaos from this point in.
Hopefully not chaos on the track, but you never know. It is one of those tracks, isn't it?
It is.
But we should be used to this. So we was here on Wednesday with GT4s and TCRs. We're back on Sunday with the GT3s. And I don't know whether you watched the broadcast on Wednesday, Pete, but we had one of those landmine incidents.
I did see it. I did watch a good portion of it. Oh, wow, it's foggy. I didn't realise until I looked up at my screen and thought, well, I can't see any cars. I saw Russell spinning and just destroying his car on that landmine going through the S's. That was pretty wild. I thought they'd got rid of all those.
Well, yeah. Obviously not. There's something from what somebody was describing to me. There's something on the inside of that curb, but there used to be a lot more. Luckily now, I think we may have found the only one that's left. So I have put a little report into iRacing. Hopefully they'll be able to sort that little glitch out.
Yeah.
But tonight, Pete, it's the faster GT3 cars around here. And, you know, we were saying on Wednesday how much we like this track. It's one of those tracks, isn't it? It's, you know, blind crests and downhill braking and long corners that draw you in and think you can take more speed than you actually can, and then you end up with a 3.5 week trip across the grass. You know, drivers have got to be very, very careful tonight. I think drivers can make this track look very, very easy or very, very difficult.
Yeah, there's tons of places to find a hazard, if that's the right terminology, by going too quick round here. Like you say, lots of corners suck you in because the camber is with you, or they're a downhill section, and you think, brilliant, I can get on it here and make some time up, but you can't. You know, over the top of the hill in that first chicane, none of the turns have names here, do they? They're all numbered.
The only one that's got the official name is the S's, isn't it? Between 4 and 5.
Right. Okay. Yeah. You know, going through that S's section, that it's almost, sometimes it feels like the slower you go, the faster you do that section, and then of course it leads on to that very sharp left-hander where people generally end up spinning into the inside wall, left-hand wall, even though it's a left-hand turn. You think they'd go wide, they don't. They spear across the track and ruin their cars on the inside wall instead. So yeah, it's a place with hazards that just draw in the unexpected, don't they? It's such a great track. It's the first track I properly raced on a racing game, a proper racing game. I think it was Gran Turismo, the original, and I got hooked on the track, and I've loved it ever since. To be honest, it's a really good track. It's got lots of really good features. You know, it features in the real life, in the real world racing still, and I watch it when different series go there. It's good.
Yeah, it's. I think I usually describe it as one of those tracks that lulls you into a false sense of security because, you know, you do 2 or 3 laps and you think, oh yeah, I've got the knack of this. No, you haven't. It's going to bite you. So yeah, it could be very, very interesting. So we've got a 90-minute race for you folks. So there will be a pit stop. These cars cannot make it all the way on fuel anyway. I'd be very surprised if anybody takes tyres. But the pit window is fairly wide, so we could end up being totally confused as usual as to what tactics people are actually using. So let's get people up to date with all the info. So this series has never raced at this track before, so we've got no previous winners and we haven't got a lap record, so somebody's going to break the lap record tonight. In the Hexhill Drivers' Championship, Stephen Walker leads the way with Marco Namela second and Jamie Wilson in third. In the Team Championship, Spectre 6 SIX lead the way. BSTV Esports Orange in second, and Spectre 6, the number 6, are third. Driver of the meeting is interesting, so Marco Namela leads the way and everybody else is second. And in the head-to-head, your top two in each group are Group 1, Jamie Wilson and Nikolai Bogotyrev. Group 2, Stephen Walker and Marco Namela. Group 3, Adam Wright and Tyler Newitt. Group 4, Kevin Vimont and Tony Walker. Last time out, we was at Le Mans, where Marco Namela took away the win with Stephen Walker second and Kevin Vimont in third. So we are currently coming up to 7 minutes into this 15-minute qualifying session. Marco Namela leads the way at the moment by a long way. He's done a 1:16.377, which is almost 1.2 seconds quicker than Matt Elmore in second, and then Jason Morris is up there in third. So at the moment, Pete, I was just going to say a bit of a masterclass from Marco Namela as I see him take one of those 3-week detours across the grass. That's how easy it is.
No Jamie Wilson this evening.
No, Jamie is racing Classic IndyCar Series, which clashes tonight.
Yeah, he's got a few clashes along the way.
Yeah.
That head-to-head between Stephen and Marco Namela is going to be a bit tasty because they share the top 2 spots in the championship. So that's definitely one to watch out for people watching. It's interesting that at the moment, the last 4 in the field, Carl, Rick, Anthony and Andrew, all drive the Ferrari. And none of them have set very competitive times yet. And we know that Carl's quick because he won the other day, didn't he?
Is that a Ferrari thing?
I don't know.
Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know how evenly paced these cars are. I can tell you that the Mercedes looks quick, especially in the hands of Marco Namela. Kevin Vimont has just popped himself up into second, or provisional second, with a 1:17.461.
Yeah, that's impressive. Still a good, 8 tenths to get on Marco Namela. So, I was going to ask you this in the last race. What separates Marco out from a lot of the rest of them? Why is he so quick in the cars he gets in? What's his approach?
Finish. As in, not get to the finish, but...
Yeah, he is. Yeah.
I don't know. He's one of those annoying drivers that can race anything quickly. We always say it when we see him in V8s. And I've said this many times. Somebody quoted me this, and I'll never forget it. Marco Namela is the fastest driver never to win the V8 championship, which is very true. It's great to see him in the GT3 and also in the V8 as well. So I don't know. Is it natural talent? I very much doubt he's done 4 million laps of practice for this race. But then again, I'm looking at Stephen Walker, who we know is phenomenally quick. He's won our TCR championship 2 times, 3 times, I can't remember without looking. He switched over to the GT4, he's second in that championship. He's not a slow driver, but at the moment he's over a second behind Marco. Now, one lap pace isn't everything. Don't get me wrong. 1 lap and 90 minutes are two totally different ball games. But he's just, I don't know. Has he clicked with the car? Has he clicked with the track? Is it a bit of everything? I think he's just good. I honestly do.
Because he does seem to just turn up and drive and win, and it's like, what is going on here? Unless he gets crashed into, or he does have mistakes, doesn't he, Marco Namaila?
Yes, he certainly does. He's not one of these. He's not like a, I would say like a Simon Trendle, who
very precise and
can get out. Yeah, get in the front, and you might as well say, yeah, okay, let's race for second, because he's not going to make a mistake, and you're not going to catch him. Although, saying that, we have seen him make a couple of uncharacteristic mistakes recently. But yeah, I think with Marco, I think because he's only got 100%, he can't back it down to 95%. So he's trying to get everything he can every lap, and we know what racing's like. You only have to be half an inch, the wrong side of something, and you dip a wheel on the grass, and it could all be over.
Yep.
Though with Marco's pace, you could always say that it doesn't really matter because he'll just race back through the field anyway. But I think it's going to be interesting tonight. He's a second ahead in qualifying. If he's a second ahead in race pace, it's going to be Marco versus Marco for the win. He's got to keep his concentration and not let a silly mistake happen.
Yeah, absolutely. And we've got pit stops in this, so one of. So that anything can happen in a pit stop, even if you're the best driver in the world. Kind of a little bit of speeding here, roll through your pit box there, and all of a sudden you've either got a penalty or you've lost some of your time, and then you're flustered, and then you speed leaving the pits. There's plenty that can go wrong.
Yes, and as we were saying about this track, there's plenty that can go wrong on this track, and it might not end in a big accident, but it might end in losing numerous positions because you've had a very, very long run through the grass.
Yes. Yeah, it's certainly a track made for GT cars, that's for sure. Even though in real life they do put the prototypes around this, don't they, and IndyCar and stuff as well.
Yeah, it is a multi-use track.
I don't know
you can see why.
Yeah, I don't know whether World Superbikes or anything like that go there.
I don't really follow the bike, so absolutely no idea. But I tend to find, especially with sim racing, when we come here, it always gives us a bit of excitement somewhere along the line. And what have we got? 4, 8, 12, 13 GT3 cars. We're going to look at this at some point tonight, and all the cars are going to be spread out, and we're going to think, this is very good, and then something will happen, or pit stops will happen, and all of a sudden there'll be cars back together again, and we'll be wetting ourselves over the action.
Yeah. So just on board here with Stephen. I think he's going to do a full lap. There's a car on the grass just there, over the top of the hill through the chicane, and into the S's. Stay close to the left-hand side because it's the most optimal line through to the right-hander, then onto the left curb, but don't hit too much of that, Russell. And then this turn, which kills people, like this. That's one way it kills people. So that's that lap potentially written off. It was a touch on the wall. I don't know whether he's going to finish this. Then we're at the bone of the pork chop. So third gear usually into second for this corner. And then where you make your time up if you're in a train here. Tow yourself up the hill using the car in front if there is one, and then stay down the centre of the road because the camber makes your car faster, draws the floor nearer to the ground, and then to the right hand side, ready for this chicane down the bottom here. You can take loads of this inside curb, like loads. That won't be an off track, and then run it wide, and then over the crest of this hill, and then you feel like a god going round that last turn if he did do, but he's gone to the pits because he brushed with the wall. But thank you for nearly finishing the lap, Stephen Walker.
Yeah, well, you feel like a god going around that corner when you get it right.
Yes, because you crest it here, and then you're just toe in all the way around. Don't touch that inside curb because it really punts you really wide and sometimes onto the grass as Kevin pulls it up because we're getting to the very end. These are the last laps. In fact, that was probably the last lap to be turned. So we are going to click on this.
And Mark Draper on the chat says it's a no on the bikes, Pete. Okay, so let's take you through your starting grid for round 4. Marco Namela takes away the pole position for Glacier Racing. Stephen Walker in second for Spectre 6 and Kevin Veermont in third for Mika Esports. Matt Elmore in fourth, Spectre 6. Jason Morris, Privateer in fifth. Russell Cowell in sixth for Spectre 6. Shane Powell in seventh for Spectre 6. Now, there are 2 different Spectre 6 teams. There's not 27 of them on the grid. Carl Hardy in eighth for Result Clothing iRacing team. Ninth is Tony Walker for Spectre 6 Purple. Privateer Rick Verhoog in 10th. Anthony Jacobson, Result Clothing iRacing team in 11th. And Andy Littler, Safeguard by Result in 12th.
Very good. Do we have a 13th car? Was there someone that didn't actually put a time in?
No, we have just got the 2.
Is it 12 or 13 that we've got? I think it's 12.
There is 13.
There is 13. Oh.
Who are we missing?
Don't know. I'm really not sure. Very strange. So let's find somebody to focus upon. Who's actually on the grid. There we go. It's still foggy.
Sorry, I'm counting cars. I'm trying to work out who's missing.
Oh, we're on lights.
That's all right. It's a rolling start.
Of course. Silly me. It's that car at the front that gives it away, isn't it?
It's Jason Haddington that we're missing.
No, he's on track. He's there.
There he is.
He must have just joined.
It looks like he's in a different class for some reason on the timing.
Is it? Oh, he is also number 1. How has that happened? I shall go and see if I can fix that. Give me a second. I don't know how it has happened. Sam would know, but Sam's not here.
Something to do with the driver overrides? Maybe, I don't know. I'm guessing. Anyway.
Everything looks exactly as it should.
That gives us 13 on the grid. Have you tried refreshing it in SDK?
Oh no, hang on. Found it.
Okay. Pete's a genius. You'll never hear me say that again.
No, never. And we should be good now.
That's better.
Hey, boy does good. Boy does good. So you get a full lap round here because it's one of the older tracks that hasn't been fully updated by iRacing yet. It has had some updates though, Clyde, because they've redone the curbs and things like that over the years.
Some of the off tracks have changed, haven't they? But it's not a particularly long track. It's only a smidgen over 2.5 miles, which is not massive compared with some tracks these days.
So they're just making their way down that back straight at the moment.
Yeah, it's straight and it's not straight, and it leads into this downhill braking section for the chicane. You will see lots and lots of defending going on down the inside here because it is a classic overtaking place. It's also a classic place to get it all wrong and lock everything up, because if you tow somebody all the way down that straight, you'll be carrying more speed and you might surprise yourself.
Yeah, and it's
anyway,
also a place for dive bombs just there. Here we go, though.
Yeah.
And you think
he's gone. He's gone, yeah. and well spotted by Stephen Walker and Kevin Vermont. They both went with him. Everybody else still sorting themselves out.
Nearly too wide going around the first corner. Everybody sorts themselves out nicely.
Jason Morris, less SDK's playing up, but I think he was a bit surprised at the start. He's lost a couple of places.
Yeah, just the one, I think, at the minute.
Right, okay.
There's another overtake coming, though, looking at it. Because Shane Powell is getting very interested now. Never seen anybody go around the outside at the end of the pork chop.
No, it's a very, very difficult place to overtake, isn't it? It's one line, unless you dive bomb somebody and the other person is very compliant.
Yeah.
Your best bet is concentrating on getting the exit of the second part of the bone correctly to get a run down this long knot straight.
Yeah, and Shane's not near enough on this lap at least. Although just behind, I think that's Tony Walker putting a move on. Yeah, Jason Haddington. So the Porsche showing it's got some grunt there out of that corner and well positioned from Tony.
Some of these drivers will be just taking it a little bit easy at the moment, warming their stuff up. We know how easy these cars can be to lose the rear end on cold tyres. But there is a bit of a Ferrari fest at the back of the field, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what I noticed during qualifying. The Ferrari doesn't seem to have performed very well, as it were. Cal Hardy on screen now is the furthest forward of the Ferraris.
Perhaps the Ferraris have got a plan that we don't know about.
Yeah. Meanwhile, at the front... Oh, hang on. I'm not going to go to the front just yet. When I look at this, because this is Russell Cowell, suddenly under a lot of pressure.
Yeah, it's Jason Morris putting a move on him.
Yeah, it's nicely done, that.
Yeah, I don't know if...
On the braking, no.
No, I was going to say, I don't think he can do anything about it there. Could have tried a banzai out-braking manoeuvre, but a bit too soon for that, I think.
Yeah, you just end up with two cars in the scrap heap, don't you, instead of just the one. So a few groups of cars bunching up together now.
Shane Powell looking interested on Russell Cowell as well now.
Yeah, sister team, of course.
A bit of fighting
somebody's gone wild. Who was that?
That was...
Oh, Jason.
Jason Morris.
So let's just see how that happened. I mean, it's the corner of death, isn't it, really?
Yeah, but what did he get so wrong?
He straight-lined it, and yeah, that just doesn't work. Yeah. No. So he already lost control a couple of turns before the S's, in the S's rather, before the turn where he binned it. Yeah.
Yeah, the first part of the S's didn't look particularly smooth, did it?
No, I think he was offline for a while and then tried to recover it beyond the pale, as it were.
The only thing you can do there is get your foot off the gas and get everything back under control, rather than trying to carry speed through the S's.
Yep, definitely.
And even that doesn't always work.
And in all that, somewhere, we had Shane passing Russell. So we'll have a quick look at that. So, oh right, this will be under...
Sized him up, hasn't he?
Yep. That Mercedes got some real pace, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was just surprised there with Russell. He looked like he was going to defend it all the way, then decided he wasn't going to defend it, and then it was all over.
Yeah. Maybe he's still bruised from headbutting the dashboard from his crash the other day.
Perhaps he's just staying away from all of the curbs to be on the safe side.
Well, not a bad move, is it? So, our race leader, I'll give him his 5 seconds here, has carved himself out 2.5 seconds worth of lead, which is pretty significant, until we get back to Stephen, who's got himself a 2-second lead. And then we hit the traffic, which is Kevin and Matt Elmore. They're fairly together. He's a good racer, Kevin Beermont, isn't he?
Oh, he is, yeah, definitely. I've just had a message from Jason. It was a technical issue.
Oh.
His headset disconnected.
We've seen that lots. See,
we all know how off-putting that can be.
That happens too often for me, for VR, if you know what I mean. Surely triples are better in that regard, yeah?
I don't know if he races VR, to be honest. He just said headset, so...
Maybe sound, yeah.
Yeah. I've had it just when the sound goes, and, you know, real racing, you're using your eyes, your ears, and most of the time your bum, because you're feeling what the car is doing. But in sim racing, you don't get the bum feeling, so everything is ears and eyes. So you take one of those away, and you're 50% down on your senses straight away.
Yeah, you're listening for when your revs have hit their limit, aren't you? And then you know how to upshift or downshift.
Yeah, the sound of the tyres.
Oh, that looked like a Jason Haddington out in the green. It was.
But he didn't spin, did he?
I don't know, let's find out. So he was sizing up, who is that in front of him? It's one of the Porsches. Tony Walker, I think that is. He's kind of nearly spun.
Yeah, that just got all loose, didn't it?
Yeah. What is that? Too much front brake by it? No.
I don't know, because I wouldn't have thought he'd have been that hard on the brakes at that time.
Not really, because you're out of the main point of the corner there.
Yeah, unless it was already coming unstuck on the way in, and we just couldn't see that. But probably, if it was anything to do with brakes, it's probably too much rear brake bias. That always wants the rear end of the car to overtake the front.
So this looks like Formula Ferrari at the minute, but it's not, folks. They're just all together. And they are all back together. In the distance there is the leader of the pack, which is Carl Hardy, then Rick Verhoek in second, Anthony Jacobson, and then just entering that same section is Andrew Littler, with Jason Haddington now behind him.
Yeah, interesting to see how quickly Tony Walker has pulled away from Carl Hardy.
Yeah, I mean, he did have Jason Haddington right behind him until Jason decided to do something else. But yes, he's really set off down the road. And we saw this in the last race, I think. Then didn't he have some sort of incident?
I don't know, I wasn't here for the last one.
We've just managed to miss this. Or is this as a result of him being off track? I don't know. Oh yeah, that was the result of that.
Yeah.
But this one we really did miss.
Curb there, no.
Oh, right in Russell's driving line.
That was a weird one.
It was. I mean, that's the general path at the turn of death.
Yeah,
that puts you in the inside wall. Yeah, another one. So yeah, that's Shane, who has found himself at the back of the queue now, and Kevin now under a load of pressure here from Matt Elmore.
And just to make you feel special, Pete, you was right. It was a VR headset.
Ah, right, okay. So this is the only BMW in the field, I think, in the hands of Matt Elmore. And it's interesting that we've got Mercedes, Porsche, BMW, then an Audi, and another Porsche, and then a whole load of Ferraris.
Yeah, we need Wobbly back in the Ford.
Yeah,
I think he's still terrorising Italy, isn't he, at the
he
moment?
is. Yeah, they'll kick him out eventually.
Oh, yeah. Still can't believe how big that BMW is, but
It's a bit of a monster, isn't it?
yeah. But they are actually large in real life.
Yeah. It's almost cheating in my opinion because it takes so long to overtake them. They're just massive and they're so wide. Well, they look very wide. I don't know whether there's any like rules about how wide your car's allowed to be and things like that.
Oh, well, if there is, I would say the BMW is at the maximum limit.
Yeah, I mean even Lamborghinis, they're quite a wide car when you see them, aren't they? Or they look it because they're so squat. I've only got one in the field at the moment, which is Jason. They look wide, but I think it's only because they are so flat to the ground.
Yeah.
Whereas
it's a go-kart with a roof, isn't it?
It is, yeah. Whereas the Mercedes, it looks wide, it looks tall, it looks like someone's got a normal car and squashed it.
I think the AMG just looks long. I think it's the big nose.
Yeah. I mean, the Z4's similarly shaped, isn't it?
Yeah. And the Porsche just looks, I hate to say it, I'm not a Porsche lover because they all look the same, but looks perfectly proportioned.
Yes. Oh, have we missed another? Oh, he's heading towards his favourite corner.
Right, let's have a closer look.
It's the same thing again. Exactly the same again, but a bit worse results, of course. What do you think that is?
I don't know. It'd be interesting to see it from behind to see how long he's braking. I know once you've done the braking and turned in, it's very, very tempting to then squirt the loud pedal.
Try to find a oh god.
Yeah,
trying to find a decent camera for it, but
just watching the brake lights, it looked like they came on, went off, and came on again when the spin started. So I'm wondering whether he's just having a little squirt of gas there.
Yeah, it's pushing him round.
He may be better off just rolling off of the brakes and coasting for 10 meters.
Again, it's all about being smooth through the apex, isn't it? If you're charging the apex, then it's not going to work too well. Why can't I find Tony Walker on it? That's odd. Tony Walker appears to possibly have disconnected, Clyde.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything yet.
I can't find his car, and I've got nothing on the event tracker for him other than people passing him. So whether he's going to reappear at some point back in the field if his connection has been bad, I'm not sure. So we'll work beyond that. So in the Ferrari field, we've got Rick Vaughan, and he's now caught up with Carl Hardy. This is another driver who's improved a lot, isn't it, Rick?
Yes, definitely. I don't know if GT3 is his thing, but we've seen him race GT4s. I think he's been having a go at, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying not particularly successfully, but GT3 seems to have found something he likes here at the moment, anyway.
Yeah, definitely. Mark Draper on the chat says the Merc looks like it's mostly engine with a seat in the back.
Yeah, it's not a bad description, is
Yeah,
it? To be honest,
pretty good actually. Yeah. And we've had this happen. Oh wow, right, okay. So hours later, SDK catches up. By the way, so I'll show you that in a second. I need to find this one though. It was this. So I've got two things I need to go back to. This happened just a moment ago.
Okay, so this is the Vermont Elmore battle. It's going to be a done deal if he can get it stopped.
Kevin let him go there, didn't he?
Yeah, he's a sensible driver, Kevin.
Yeah.
There's no point fighting something too hard 20 minutes into a 90-minute race.
No, definitely not.
And he gets the chance now to sit behind and save some fuel if required.
Yeah, which is what he did in the last race, if you remember, and he had a good pit stop as a result. Now, I don't know what I'm going to see with this next one. Nothing. So this is supposed to be Tony Walker. Oh, right, okay. So there is something to see. So that's Tony Walker, I think, coming back into our world, as it were. I think he lost connection and then regained it again.
Right, okay.
And then, I don't know whether this is just a replay of the same thing with a different camera angle. It is. So he's back on track now anyway. But I think that was a very bad disconnect and then a reconnect. Because he's back out here. He's been in the pits. He's repaired all the damage. Head down, bum up, and off you go.
Shame, because he was doing well.
He was. He was mid-pack, which is a good result with these guys. And this is the fight for third, so a podium position in the hands at the minute of Matt Elmore.
Yeah, we do know how quickly that can change, though.
We've seen it already. If Shane Powell can spin it at death corner, then anybody can, really.
Marco Namela 8 seconds in the lead, and then Stephen Walker has got 8 seconds over Matt Elmore, so those two definitely moving away from this third place battle.
Yeah, and if memory serves me correctly, that was similar to Le Mans. Only Marco Namela had a ridiculous lead at that point. Although 8.5 seconds is still massive here, isn't it?
It's a massive lead, but it's one mistake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think both Marco and Stephen are what we were saying before the race, that they're battling themselves, trying to keep concentrated. And I suppose at some point, and it's not going to be too much further into the future for Marco, it's going to be getting past back markers.
Yeah. At the rate he goes, he's going to pass a lot more cars, isn't he, if you take my meaning into that, because he's going to catch up with them loads quicker. This was a fight back through the field pass from Shane Powell, overtaking Anthony Jacobson there, nice and clean, and Anthony made it easy for him, really.
Oh,
sorry,
on track.
may have clicked the wrong button.
That's what we should do,
What, play it backwards?
We should record a race and then commentate on it going backwards.
Sometimes I think I already do that. So this is Kevin.
Well, Marco would be losing his lead, wouldn't he?
Yeah, rapidly as well.
He had a 9-second lead not so long ago.
He's just done, I think, the fastest lap of the race. No, it wasn't. It was the one before it. He's not ridiculously faster than Stephen Walker this time, though, which is good. Still got half a second on him, lap on lap.
Which I suppose, from Stephen's point of view, it is quite a win, isn't it? Because it was a second in qualifying.
Yeah.
16 laps, or we're on the 16th lap, so that should put Marco 15 seconds in front, but he's only 9.5.
Yes.
Silver linings.
So I was just looking at the schedule for BSTV events, and I see that on Wednesday GT4s are at Fuji.
Yes.
That's going to be interesting. I've never driven at that track yet.
No, I've not even loaded it up since I bought it.
That's going to be a bit tasty.
I'm told it is visually stunning.
Oh, right. Okay, I might have to get that. Get it loaded in properly and do some laps on it.
Whether that means it's going to cause some people some issues.
What, you mean in refresh rates and things?
Yeah.
Yeah. Mark Draper said Marco's team pit crew, should only put 3 wheels on his car to give everybody else a chance.
Well, I always find, let's see what this replay is that Pete's found first.
It's one of the Formula Ferrari. Top of the hill. Oh, nice slide.
Yeah, there was
don't hit it. There we go.
There was a very weird braking moment just going in there.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult, isn't it? You're both going uphill, turning left in order to next turn right, brake enough to shed the speed, but carry the speed through that bump of a corner. There's a lot going on.
Yeah, and we'd already cursed him as well.
We had, because we'd said he was doing so well and he was catching other cars. I mean, they've just gone through it there, and for me, if you've not done enough practice on this track, that corner and this one here that they're approaching, well, this one that they're in now, they're just lethal, because you need to have done a good number of attempts at each one to know how to get out of trouble faster than you got into it, because you can't approach it the same every lap, because you're tangling with other cars, you're watching your mirrors on some laps, you're not on others. Each time you approach these corners, it's ever so slightly different.
Yeah, I totally agree. And what I was about to say was, I personally, I always found it a bit of a carrot when you've got somebody that much quicker than yourself.
Yeah.
It's a benchmark that, and when they are that much quicker than you, it's quite easy-ish, I'm going to say, to make some big gains into how much quicker they are than you.
Yeah.
Because Stephen Walker is no slouch.
No, definitely not.
And at the moment, he is being murdered.
Well, the whole field is, but I get your point. It's going to be a particular thing for him, because if we look at where he is on track, he's out on his own, doing a bit of drifting, actually. I've just cursed him by putting the camera on him.
I honestly thought he was going to lose that then. Good
I
save,
did.
sir.
Yeah, that was excellent. That was at the bone of the pork chop. But he can see his quarry, can he? No, he can't, can he? I don't think. Was that Marco? No, it wasn't Marco. Marco's history. He's well gone. That must be a back marker in front of Stephen, or between him and Marco at any rate. It is.
It could be his brother.
Oh, right, yes, on a recovery drive.
Mr. Tiggerwoo.
Tiggerwoo.
I
It is
really
as well.
hope he made that name up when he was about 6 and he's got stuck with it.
Alan Toon is trying desperately to curse Andy Littler by saying he's doing really well tonight, and he's not wrong.
Alan should be out here racing.
He should be out here racing, absolutely. Unless he was, well, even if he was doing Le Mans, there was plenty of people doing it all of yesterday, obviously. 24 hours of Le Mans. Our team did remarkably well.
They certainly did.
Top 3 in the top split. Is there damage on the front of Andrew's car? There is, isn't there? It's given a bit of a snarl on the right-hand side there.
Yeah.
I don't know that I've got a camera that can deliver us a better image. Not while he's moving as fast as he is. See, he takes a very shallow line through the first corner, which is going to be slow, but it preps him ready for taking this top of the hill chicane. And yes, he's got damage on there. So he's obviously coming together with something. It might be that landmine, because the landmine can do damage as well as kill your car. You can see he's on a much more conservative series of lines than the likes of these two, for instance. I'm just picking them because then the next one's up the hill. Hey?
Safety first.
Safety first, yep. You got to get round, haven't you? Then get fast. So these two will take a lot more curve and a lot more risk.
Yeah, well, the first one is guesswork, isn't it? Because it's blind.
The Porsche is obviously better at the curbs than the Beamer because Matt is staying off the curbs and Kevin's attacking them a bit.
Looks to me like Kevin is just running and saving fuel.
Yeah, I mean, he'll know now that Marco Nemela's in a different postcode already. And Stephen Walker's getting on for a different postcode already. So he knows his battle is the car in front of him. So he's got however many laps left, maybe 40 or something like that, in order to address the situation. He could even do it in the pit stops without actually having to overtake the car physically on track.
Yeah, and that Beamer will be punching a hole in the air the size of a battleship, won't it?
He will, yeah. It's a proper brick, isn't it?
In fact, at the moment, Kevin doesn't even need windows in that car because there would be no air going into it. Because the BMW has shifted it all out of the way.
It's just that grille. The grille on the BMW it's as big as the front of my house. Oh dear. Or is it an oh dear or is it not an oh dear? This is a very, very early visit for Andrew Littler.
I think the pit window is just open.
Oh, okay, okay. No, that's good then.
I think these cars can almost do an hour. So if he's got any damage or anything like that, that he thinks is slowing him down maybe, or maybe he's just getting off tactic with the rest of them.
Yeah, he's just repaired that little bit of damage that he had.
Yeah.
Yeah, seen that. So we'll watch for him rejoining. Oh, in fact, he's back out on track. So yeah, that was a scheduled stop, which is good. That's good news.
Yeah, maybe he felt he was a bit down on top speed or something, so
yep.
He's gone in at the earliest possible opportunity.
These two are definitely getting some good footage for their sponsors, aren't they? Being as close together as they are. This is what half a second looks like. But yeah, that grille on the BMW is just enormous. It's probably starving the car behind of oxygen. So, just running through the order. This is Marco Nemela. He's your race leader. in that massive Mercedes-Benz, nearly said BMW. He's got a 16-second lead over Stephen Walker. For Spectre 6, that's 6 with the letters, not the number. And then in third, we've been watching them. It's Matt Elmore for Spectre 6, the number, followed by Kevin Viamont in fourth for Mika Esports, and then Russell Cowell in the only Audi this weekend for Spectre 6, the letters.
Letters, the numbers.
So we'll go back to these two because they are very, very together. Interestingly, Rick Log passed Andrew Littlewell whilst Andrew was in the pits for a position. And that'll obviously probably get redressed when Rick decides to pit.
So Marco Nemela at the moment is making his way through some back markers. Being patient, taking it easy.
Yeah, and Alan Toon has just said it looks mighty tempting. Probably except getting lapped by Marco. I think that's just gonna happen. When he
not a lot you can do about that.
No, it's part of the treatment. And further back, we've got Shane Powell, who is lapping quite a bit faster. He was half a second faster last lap.
He's another one on a recovery, isn't he?
He very much is. Yeah, he had to stop and wait for most of the field to go past him when he did his little spin before. And he's chasing down Carl Hardy, who is still the furthest forward Ferrari that we've got. Again, another one who takes on the curbs. There is an off-track at the outside of the corner of death. But I don't think they're getting quite wide enough to get it. This track is quite generous, isn't it, with its off-tracks?
Yeah, it certainly is. We have got somebody on 9 incidents.
Oh, wow. Right, okay.
But the rest are 5 or under. And we're over a third of the way through.
I mean, this was always going to be a bit of a lean weekend for this series, wasn't it, with Le Mans 24 on the Saturday before it.
Yeah. And we're into a bit of a summer break as well after this one. Oh no, sorry, I'm lying to you. It's after the next one.
Yeah, I was going to say it's a couple of weeks away yet.
Yeah. So 2 weeks time. Is it 2 weeks time? It is 2 weeks time. September the 3rd, 4th even. Phillip Island. Love that track.
Yeah, it is a good
Can't
track.
race it for Toppy, but
Yeah.
do enjoy the racing around there. So, is Matt Elmore eking away from Kevin, or is Kevin just sitting on the back end of that toe range?
Who was that, did you say just then?
Matt Elmore and Kevin Viamont. That's the biggest gap I've seen visually, anyway, between those two so far.
Yeah, 1.3 seconds, just as Marco Nemela puts in the fastest lap of the race. It might be that Matt is preparing for his pit stop, because a lot of drivers like to gap the car behind, don't they? So
Yeah,
they don't get rammed into on the way into pit road.
Yeah. Marco Lamela's got a nearly 20-second lead now. Oh, how I wish we could add success bonus.
Yeah. That was one of the benefits of R Factor, wasn't it? You could weight the cars. But, again, it wasn't the easiest thing for, I mean, it was particularly you as an admin, to do that, was it?
No, but, you know, a little bit of testing and you can find, you know, whenever you are penalising somebody for being good, they are going to complain about it.
Yeah.
It always used to kick off, didn't it, in British touring cars. Obviously, they don't do it now with the hybrid system. But you know, ultimately, it did its job. So I'm surprised it's something that we haven't got, but you never know. Let's concentrate on rain instead, so nobody can drive.
Yeah. I think until they... well, they're going to bring in the tyre model at the same time, do you think, or what?
Oh, that I don't know. That I don't know.
So at the minute we've got... I think that's Tony Walker getting overtaken here by position 3 and 4. Matt Elmore and Kevin Viamont. Tony on a recovery drive from, I think, what was a mega disconnect. He's got out of the way there of Kevin, and Kevin's given him a flash to thank him.
1.6 seconds that gap now.
Yeah, I wonder. We're not going to change tyres, are we? It's a 90-minute race. It's unlikely they need rubber.
I thought so, yeah. But are the tyres going on the Porsche? I don't know.
No, that's true. It could be car specific. We'll have to watch when they eventually pit. So just an update on where Carl Hardy is. Carl Hardy's back here. He's a minute off the lead now, with Shane Powell closing in on him very slowly. He's not closing in as fast as he was. It's just under half a second a lap now. It was just over half a second a lap previously. But it does show that Mercedes got loads of grunt, hasn't it?
Oh, it certainly has, yeah. And it sounds fantastic as well.
Yeah. It does. I said this, I think, last race. It sounds like it's not trying.
Yeah. Still waiting for the Bentley, though.
I think you might be waiting a very long time.
Yeah, it might make me own.
I didn't know you could mod iRacing.
There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah. It looks like it should handle like a cross-channel ferry, this car, doesn't it? But it seems quite nimble.
Yeah, I think generally GT3 cars are, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're I'm probably going to get lots of abuse now from other people, but I would say like a mid-level sports car, also driven by amateurs, gentleman drivers and that sort of thing. So you know, it needs to handle fairly well, doesn't it? And possibly as well GT3 or equivalent. Maybe the most popular form of racing worldwide.
I would think so, because the cars are more accessible, aren't they?
Yeah.
Than a Formula car, as it were, or one of the prototypes. You're not going to get your hands on a prototype for something less than £500,000, are you? So I think these ones are both affordable and accessible, and there's plenty of spares.
Yeah. And I always enjoyed driving the GT3s. It's well, to say that I enjoyed the GTEs as well when they was going, but
I never understood that. I don't understand why. Well, the Le Mans series kind of got rid of them, didn't it? And that's
well,
what started the
Yeah.
demise.
Somebody far more up to date than me will probably be able to give a better description, but the world of GT racing, it's a bit, you know, we don't want to do the same as the Europeans are doing, and the Europeans don't want to do the same as the Americans, and it would be, maybe there is something like this that I don't know about, but wouldn't it be nice if they just did a GT3 spec car that you could enter into any GT3 race in the world?
Yeah.
A bit like they're trying to do with TCR.
It would be, yeah, that would be ideal. They need
I don't really follow the endurance racing as such. I tend to watch the Daytona 24. I tend to watch Le Mans. But each year when I watch them, there's different classes that are the same cars, or they've got new names, and you know, GT, LM, and you know, it's DP, and
yeah.
You're like, really?
They do seem to chop and change it. I liked the GTE cars because they were more powerful GT3 cars in my head, but without some of the assists, because I think it's either traction control or ABS that they don't have, or both, or something. But they were good fun. The official races were a bit of a lottery, and you can say that about any official race, but the GTE ones were particularly hazardous. I think there was a lot of arrive and drive in that series.
So 42 minutes in now. We're coming up on half distance. Be interesting to see if anybody uses half distance as their pit trigger.
I'm interested to see how much of the landmine curve Russell attempts here on these laps. He's staying well clear of that one.
Well clear, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did feel for Russell on Wednesday, even though I did find it absolutely hilarious.
Yeah. It was violent. It was as violent as the ones we used to have, wasn't it?
Yeah, I quite often watch YouTube videos of you know, sim racing physics gone wrong.
Yeah.
And some of them are absolutely hilarious.
Do you remember when he used to get bouncing cars?
Yeah.
That was so funny. I remember being in an oval race, and there was a car literally just pogoing on the spot for ages, for like 2 or 3 laps. It just carried on for it. It was great. And you could hear the guy saying that he couldn't do anything about it. He couldn't press reset because it wanted him to stop the car. And of course, it thought the car was still moving. So funny. So Matt Elmore approaching the back of Andrew Littler's Ferrari there, straight through. Andrew gave a little dab of the brakes. I didn't know whether it surprised Matt there. Oh, and another Ferrari off. This could be an Andrew Littler position here. It is. It's Rick Verhoef that's off the side of the track. So let's see what happened to Rick. Feeling the pressure from a fast-moving Andrew Littler approaching from the behind, I think.
Looked like he outbraked himself.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He gathered it together though, and then thought, "Oh, I need to get back on," but this car's coming. Safe rejoin. All good.
Yeah, Kevin gave him a flash just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. See, I don't normally like flashing lights, as everybody knows. It got cast into Garage 101 a little while ago now. But used in the right way, it's acceptable, and Kevin does. He's basically saying there, I'm on my way through, I'm not going to slow down, so stay to your side.
think that's what we said at the time, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It's there is a time and a place for them.
Mm. And Sir Alan agrees with you. A global spec for GT should be doable.
It should be, but you know, the different I don't know if franchises are the right word to use, but they don't seem to want it, do they? They want to be individual.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the individuality of each of the leagues to comment too much, but it does seem like they are all very different.
No sign of a mistake from Mr. Namela yet.
No,
Let's
not
just
yet.
say yet, so I can claim it if he makes one.
He's certainly still travelling at a rapid pace. He's only recently put in the fastest lap of the race. I'll go back to the live footage, that might help.
Yeah, that's what I was saying before. You know, he
Oh.
can't. Oh, hello.
What is it with me
Hello.
and cameras the last couple of weeks? Whenever I
Mr.
switch,
Hedgehog again.
yeah. Whenever I switch to somebody, they're doing something they should not be.
He looked like he got lost there.
Yeah. Let's have a look. So he's obviously making his way up the hill here into the chicane on the top of the hill. It's going to be a break back.
Yeah.
Oh, whoa.
No, he got it all wrong going in.
Yeah, he turned in too soon and then
Yeah.
overcorrected. And then his feet didn't know what to press first. Because I've been there. I think we all have.
I think he was having an R-ing on where to rejoin, and then realised that escape road was behind him, and that was probably the safest way to do it.
Yeah. See, the Ferraris even sound like they're not travelling. One of the things with the Ferrari, is it the Ferrari? Oh no, I'm thinking of the Corvette in the GTE, where you basically shift up miles before you should do normally because it's got such horsepower it just pulls through.
Bill's favourite car.
Oh yeah, plastic Ferrari, absolutely.
I believe that is 7th place Shane Powell that Marco is now hunting.
It is, yeah. Just a bit further up the track. So that will be half the field lapped by Marco if he manages it before all the pit stops happen. Just a reminder that Andrew Littler's already been in, probably at the very fringes of the pit window in order to repair a little bit of damage to the front of his car which might have been affecting his handling.
Shane Powell continues to eke into Carl Hardy at the moment.
Yeah.
Marco Lamela is going to be with Shane very shortly. Shane's going to be praying that Marco gets him on a nice part of the track, which doesn't cost him any time.
No, Shane's been steadily and pretty much metronomically eating into Carl Hardy's lead over him by just under half a second, about 4/10 every lap. And it just goes to show how fast Marco Namela is. Look how quickly he's caught Shane Powell. And Shane Powell's not rubbish. He's handy in a lot of these cars. He's certainly got capabilities to be on a podium. Right then. So Kevin Viemont is the first of our pit lane visitors. Sorry,
Yeah,
second. Didn't even notice Jason was already in.
is Kevin going to take tyres? He's not, is he?
Doesn't look like it. I mean, you shouldn't do, really, because...
No, it was just a worry that he was losing time to Matt Elmore.
Yeah.
It looked like the handling had gone away on his car.
So those deals were done. So Kevin's now out of the pits again. Now effectively a lap down because obviously this man has put a lap on him there. You got 3 cars on 3 different laps there. So you got Marco Nemela, the leader. 1 lap down is Shane Powell. 2 laps down is Jason Haddington, I think, anyway.
Yeah, I think he is at the moment. I think he was a lap down and then pitted, which put him 2 down. So
Yes.
he'll get 1 back when Marco pits.
And good to see that Tony Walker's continued on regardless. I mean, there's equal opportunity to make up places here, isn't there? He's got a car which is undamaged at the moment. He's used his fast repair, obviously, in whatever connectivity issue he encountered. Looks like Rick Verhoek is in the pits. But yeah, it's good to see Tony Walker continuing on because he has the potential to pick up positions. There's lots of the race to go, and we've seen other people having incidents and accidents. Oh dear.
Oh.
I saw this flash up and I thought, we'll have a look and see if it was a real crash by the state of his car. Didn't expect to see that. Oh, way wide, way wide. So what's happened here? Has he collected someone? Oh, wow.
Oh.
Jason got caught up in it.
Yeah. I was going to say, how has he done that? He's got it. He's collected it. He's under control, and then it looks like Jason Haddington came round the corner, was totally surprised by what he saw.
He didn't know what to do, did he?
Yeah.
He padded the brake in the middle of the corner, and that's the thing kind of not to do. Let it roll wide or something like that, as opposed to padding the brake. So that's 2 cars, both with damage. Although Jason looks... I mean, he's just come out of the pits as well, so...
Yeah.
Not good. Right, let's go back to the live racing. There's not a lot left of the front of that Mercedes, that's for sure. But once he's been towed... Ooh, that's another broken car that's just coming behind him. That's Carl Hardy. All right, what's going on, Clyde?
Where are we? 50 minutes in. It's calm down. Blind crest. This S's again. Curb.
Oh, he got over the top of the curb.
Yeah.
And that's going to be expensive.
That's just being greedy, unfortunately. But,
Well,
you know, as we said before the race started, that's what this track can do to you.
Yep. You do loads of laps, nothing wrong, and then bang.
The pit lane looks like a junkyard at the moment.
Yeah, a little bit. And then we've got Kevin, who should be coming out around about the Matt Elmore position in theory.
Yeah, well, it was about 3 seconds before Kevin pitted.
Matt's still in the pits at this point. Oh, he's leaving the pits now. So this is going to be fairly close. Where is Kevin? Oh, yeah, just a bit further back down the hill.
Yeah, I think he's gained nearly a second on that pit stop.
Yeah. We've seen the undercut active in this car before. I mean, he should be able to see him. Yeah, you can see him.
Yeah, I don't think undercut really comes into it. You know, they're not taking tyres.
No, but it's the least, you know, stopped for less time to take on less fuel. Oh, and then we've got...
Yeah. Mark Draper saying, you know, the drivers are getting to the point where concentration starts to drop, and that's always a battle in racing, especially with the longer races. That's why it's a different beast. Marco Nemela is in.
What a crazy few minutes of racing that was.
Yeah, but you get that, don't you?
Yeah, it seems to happen quite a lot like that. So at the minute, there's quite a few visitors to pit road. Russell Cowell and Marco Nemela on scheduled stops. Carl Hardy on an unscheduled stop. I think Shane Powell's just left as well. Anthony Jacobson just into pit road now. And then are we waiting for anybody else? Stephen Walker, he's already been in, hasn't he? So this will be everybody after Anthony Jacobson, Clyde.
Yes, that should be all the scheduled stops done anyway.
Yeah, Carl Hardy deciding to put tyres on or forgetting to take the tyre flag off. One of the two.
He's got a nice shiny Ferrari again.
And that is the pit stops done with now.
Should be back in 2 seconds.
Sure. So your running order is Marco Nemela is still your race leader. He's got a 23-second lead now over Stephen Walker in second place. 14.5 seconds further back is Matt Elmore for the sister team of Spectre 6. Then Kevin Viemont, who I thought might get a little bit closer than he has done, but it's still a valiant effort getting some sort of time back during the pit stop phase. And then Russell Cowell 16 seconds further back down the road at the moment. Having a bit of a lonely old drive at the minute because the next nearest car behind him is nearly a minute behind now in the hands of Anthony Jacobson. Jason Harrington, after a few spins and a definite crash, is 14 seconds further back from Anthony. The car in front there is Andrew Littler, who's a lap down. And then Rick Hedgehog, 32 seconds behind that. Carl Hardy, after coming together with the wall, and taking new tyres, is 13, nearly 14 seconds back. But with new tyres, in a couple of laps, we'll be able to really make inroads into that gap. And now double recovering, Shane. Oh dear, that's Matt Elmore. Let's have a look at that, because that looked like it had furniture crashing written all over it. It's the curbs at the top of the hill again, Clyde.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's not. He's going into the S's.
Yeah.
Whoa, what is that? Hardware?
That was all wrong at the top of the hill.
That was pretty wild. And that's quite a lot of damage. I want to see that again because that was very strange.
Just watch him before he even gets to the turn. There.
Yeah, he
back
twitches.
end kick out.
Yep. And then it keeps kicking out and he can't correct it. That was really bizarre. It's very un-Matt Elmore-like.
That was very much one of those. I've got this. I've got this. No, I haven't.
Yeah. I mean, what did that look like on board?
Yeah, look for counter steering.
Can't even see a steering wheel.
His wheel there.
Yeah, he has 2 goes at it, and then it starts fishtailing on him.
Yeah, because I think at that point he was off of his optimal line.
Oh, if I do it on, sorry, I'll do it on that one quickly, and then we can see his steering. Just selected the wrong camera, that's all. Oops. Yeah, he has a little correction. And then lots of overcorrection.
Yeah. Interesting. So that's popped Kevin Veermont back into 3rd position.
It really has. This is going to be an overtake for position in maybe a lap's time. This is Tony Walker closing in on Andrew Littler. And this is for 11th place. I don't think there's many cars that haven't had an incident this time, Clyde. Stephen Walker, Marco Nemela and Kevin, I think that's about the only ones that have not hit something, spun, hit somebody else.
Perhaps that's still to come.
Maybe so. I mean, we did say it right at the start. This track claims scalps, doesn't it? Andrew Little is super wide, and that's a wall. That's going to be a wall. Oh, he's missed it. Wow.
Did he miss it? Did he scrape it?
I think he avoided that.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be too scrapey, does it, down the side of that car?
No, he was already wild going into the last of those turns, and he's still a bit wild now. Do you reckon he's just cooked his front tyres?
Could be. What's the track temperature? Not that hot. I thought he was getting out of the way, but...
Maybe he was, but in a very strange place. So he's coming down here through the S's. Oh, no, he gets a big kick off that.
Too much of that curve, wasn't it?
Yeah, he missed the wall there, look, that's good.
He did miss it, yeah. But that curve stopped the car from steering.
Yeah. And then I think he's sliding through these corners, look. He's turning the wheel and the wheels aren't giving him any traction there, look. So I think he's melted his fronts. Okay, so some big gaps forming, but we've seen this before in these cars. Give it a few laps and they'll be all crawling all over each other again.
Yeah, like we always say, one mistake.
Mm-hmm. So, if Kevin manages to finish in 3rd place or better, this will definitely move him up above Jamie Wilson in the standings, with Jamie not being able to race here this week.
Yeah, I don't think Jamie's back till Bathurst, which is November the 6th.
Right, so he's going to possibly get overhauled by Russell, Shane and Tony as well. And if Adam Wright turns up again after, because he was doing the Le Mans yesterday, he may also be all over Jamie by that point as well.
Yeah, although Jamie did know this at the start of the season, he's only a part-time driver in this series. Yeah, we've passed the hour mark, so the drivers are inside the last half an hour. And sometimes this can be when, as a driver, you're at your most dangerous.
Yeah.
because you're closer to the end than you are the start, and you're looking at counting the laps or the timer down, and that's where you can lose concentration. The car is nowhere near as grippy as it was half an hour ago.
And sometimes that, if you're not used to it, the reduction in grip over time can catch you out. And I've seen it catch out some people who have surprised me in the past and thought, well, you're a very experienced racer. How have you managed to get caught out by that? But, it's just one of those things, isn't it? It's part of
Yeah,
racing.
and it happens to all of us, doesn't it?
But Stephen is still absolutely thrashing this Porsche. You can tell by the behaviour of the car and how he's attacking the curbs, and, how much speed he's carrying through some of these corners.
Yeah, just trying to keep an eye on the times at the moment, see who is catching who.
I mean, Matt Elmore here, going a lot slower than he was doing now. I think that damage may be affecting the handling of the car, because it wasn't an insignificant strike with the wall, was it?
No, it was fairly hefty. You can see the damage on the front right of that car. Doesn't look too bad, but you just don't know, what that's doing to the handling. Is it making it a nightmare to turn left or right, or is it just down on top speed?
It's still pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, he's got 13.5 seconds over Russell Cowell in fifth.
I mean, hopefully it's just cosmetic and a bit of aero damage and no mechanical impact to the steering column or anything like that. He's certainly not falling backwards towards, I think that's Shane behind him, isn't it? Yeah. Shane's car now is obviously fully fixed after being in the pits.
Yeah, and he's pulling away from 11th place Tony Walker, but he's got a long way to catch Carl Hardy.
Yeah, Carl's out here, no longer the highest placed Ferrari after his coming together with the furniture.
Lee Jacobson doing well up there in sixth.
Yeah, I mean, he's had a bit of a rough few laps earlier on, hasn't he? There's a few incidents and such. But he's powering through it. Currently sixth place, which is a great result if he can stay there or do better even.
Yeah, 21.5 minutes to go.
He's over a minute behind Russell Cowell, though.
Yeah, but I think for him, more importantly, 12.5 seconds in front of Jason Haddington.
Yes, yeah. Russell Cowell is now the Lord of the Landmines. Could wind him up a bit more and say he's the Lady Landmine. Yeah, now Kevin's starting to pull away from Matt Elmore, so I think there's definitely been an impact to the performance of that BMW.
Yeah, I agree. Most definitely. It's 13.5 back to Russell Cowell now, so that'll be the gap that'll be worth watching.
quick look at our race leader here. All on his lonesome at the moment, trying to find some traffic to play with.
Yeah, I have been watching Marco on another screen, and he's been very, very patient with the back markers. Obviously, he can afford to with a 27-second lead. Doesn't have to get past them like his hair's on fire.
And it's not as big a gap as we saw at Le Mans, is it? Le Mans' gap was massive.
Yeah.
This one's been better managed by Stephen Walker. I think it'll take someone to get in front of him right at the start of the race and be a nuisance to him. It's that sort of scenario, isn't it?
Yeah, you could be right, yeah. Or a bad qualifying, which he doesn't normally get. Yeah, maybe a bit of incident at the start of a race.
In the words of Bill Switzer, get into his grill. Get up in his grill.
Or maybe we just give him a pit lane start.
Yeah, just for the fun of it.
Yeah.
Why not?
We could have a random draw, and anybody who's got the initials of MN has got to start in the pit lane. Oh no, that's Marco. Sorry. Okay, so the Russell Cowell Matt Elmore gap is not really coming down.
Right.
So whatever damage Matt has got, I think he's managing it well.
Yeah, sometimes iRace damage model can be a bit over enthusiastic with the graphics, can't it? We've heard people before saying, well, I had a wing when I was driving, even if you couldn't see it.
Yeah, it was more, you know, it looked to us before the pit stops that Kevin Veermont had lost the handling on his Porsche and was dropping back. And then, you know, after the pit stops and after Matt's incident, Kevin was then driving away from him, which would suggest that Kevin is going at the same pace, but Matt is going slower.
Yes. And I think that Matt is now starting to catch Kevin. Like, properly.
Yeah.
Took a couple of tenths last lap.
He needs a lot more than that, though, with, 16.5 minutes left.
Yeah. Kevin's tyres... Yeah, Kevin's tyres are, what is it, 2 laps? 3 laps, sorry. Older.
No, none of them
took
tyres.
Because they didn't take tyres. Me being silly again.
Carl Hardy, wasn't it, that took tyres?
And he's turning faster laps than Rick Verhoeven in front of him. But he's going slower than Shane Powell, who is behind him. But again, the gap's pretty big, so I don't think that's going to come together unless there's an accident or an incident somewhere in that. Mark Draper says we should make Marco and Amela wear somebody else's glasses for each race.
You should wear mine, I can't see through them. I have 2 pairs at work now, so I've got a pair of glasses to find my glasses.
Yeah, well done. You got any glasses for listening to the radio yet?
No, not yet.
No.
Not long.
No.
I do turn the radio down so that I can see where I'm going in the car.
Yeah, just as I said that Kevin was getting caught by Matt Elmore, he puts in a much faster lap. Half a second faster than Matt Elmore, so he's definitely striding away again now. Maybe it was just one lap of going a bit slower than the previous lot. Very calm, measured drive as ever from Kevin, isn't it?
Yeah, but we've seen that from Kevin for years, haven't we?
Yeah.
Obviously, Kevin used to race in the GT4 TCR Championship, and did very, very well in it, didn't he?
Yeah.
And teammate Romain Ratou.
Yep. Yeah, hopefully Roman will come and join us at some point. He was saying he might have the opportunity to. It's good to have Mika Esports back with our league because they're a force that can fight for wins and definite podium places, obviously.
Oh, without a doubt, yeah.
But their style of driving fits our MO, which is respectful, clean, but still competitive.
We got some sort of spam bot turned on our chat.
No, it's Restream. I've got it active. I should probably find a way of turning the damn thing off.
Was that Paceworks fundraiser? Was quite a while ago.
Significant amount of time ago, yeah. So, Andrew Littler back as the last running car again. Still one place up from his start position of dead last because Jason Morris parted company with us with a technical failure.
Yeah, Carl Hardy's definitely catching Rick Verhoeven.
Is it by enough though? What was it last
Well,
lap? Well, yeah, that's
came
8
down quite a chunk.
Yeah.
It's 5 seconds now. With 11.5 minutes left.
We have.
Oh, Tony Walker has just got past Shane Powell for some reason.
I think this is going to
be
the reason.
Painful.
Oh, you don't want to be out there. It's a lot, and usually that leads to something else. Because your tyres are suddenly cold from being out on the grass. Oh no, seems fine. So how did Tony pass him then? Was it this? Thought he was going to do the same thing again then. Top of the hill, sideways.
Oh.
So Shane encountering some handling issues. And carries on again. So that's how that happened. Oh, Clyde, it's happening again. Why do they always do it at exactly the same time all the time? This is turn 1 for Andrew Littler. He's doing what Shane did. Somebody greased the track out there. Oh no, 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 oh! So, some Ferrari spares going for anybody that's needing any. And he can't get it in gear, Clyde.
Yeah, but none of that explained how Tony Walker got past Shane.
It did. Tony passed him when Shane was at the top of the hill.
Really?
Yep. We shall see it again now. So that's him in the background, isn't it? No, it's not, is it?
I thought Tony was in a Porsche.
Yeah, he is. Sorry, I thought that was a Porsche. I thought it was this car passing him here.
No.
Okay, let's find that then. We'll have a look at this. So no Shane in the shot at the moment. Oh, he's off the side of the track there. Or over to one side. Has he had another off?
Not sure.
There's nothing on the event tracker.
Did he get slowed down?
Oh, very possible, but I would have an off track for that, which I don't have. Very odd. Right then, back to live. Andrew Littler's in the pits for repairs.
Yeah. He would have had a drive of shame as well.
Ah, okay. So he's probably going to get stuck in there for a while. Or will it release him to come and do a lap of a drive-through?
Yeah, doesn't it stick it on the pit stop?
I think it probably does. I can't remember though.
We have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 drivers on double figures.
Oh, right.
With 8 minutes left to run.
Yeah, plenty of time for a couple of drive-throughs then.
So Carl Hardy, 3.5 seconds to Rick Verhoogno.
Yeah, that's who I'm watching at the minute, because I think that's going to get fairly tasty. As is this. Shane once again catching Tony Walker. I didn't even know that Mercedes made lawnmowers.
They do now.
So I think this is the battle that's going to be resolved one way or the other prior to the other one.
Perhaps Mercedes are just jealous of the Lamborghini tractors.
Yeah, yeah. That's where Lamborghini started their business, isn't it?
It certainly is.
I mean, how fast are you going to plough a field in a Lamborghini tractor? I mean, Shane's lost it there again at the top of the hill, did you see?
Yeah.
Way offline. It's very un-Shane-like.
Although, yeah, you know, halfway through a normal would be a second stint in a big endurance race. At least when the handling goes away, so...
True, yep. So I wonder if Russell Cowell will be an affecting factor in this with Tony Walker. I mean, what are they? Well, they're all kind of Spectre 6 cars, aren't they?
Yeah. Carl Hardy, 2.5 seconds now.
Oh, yeah. In fact, it's a lot less than that. Half a second.
Yeah, something happened there, didn't it?
It did. Again, I've not got anything to show you. But this is definitely on. Alan's right on there. There's no let up by anybody. You're right. And I wish that they'd talk to one another and do their battles at different times, because as a camera person, I went PC route there. It's hard to put a camera on everybody at the same time. Oh, 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 oh. That's not the way to do that. So that's resolved. Yeah, that's done that one. This is Shane following Tony Walker. With 4 minutes to go. I mean, you kind of want to sit behind the car until you've done the S's, don't you?
Oh, yes.
Overtaking through here is just a no-no.
Yeah, set them up into the bone, do the pass coming out of the bone.
Yeah.
Looks like a done deal to me.
Yeah, he's got a lot of overspeed there, pops out. He's on the wrong side, obviously, for the next corner, but he'll probably, or possibly, be clear by then. Oh, maybe not. That Porsche's good under brakes, look.
I was going to say, Tony was a lot later on the brakes.
Yeah.
Watching the brake lights there, great defence.
This one could go on a while.
So now he's learned that Tony is good on the brakes.
Oh, they were exactly the same time then. No contact. Tony's defending this very well.
Yeah, I think Shane has just got to do exactly what he did on the last one, but maybe try and close the door and not give Tony a chance.
Well, Tony's going to hold the turn here.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh.
I mean, they're not letting up at all, like Alan said. Oh, he's got a good run here, but he's going to be on the wrong side again.
So a minute and a half.
Oh, he's offline. He's well offline. That was the landmine line. Managed to get away with that. Now there's a gap again. So, a minute or so to go, Clyde. We must be getting on for...
Well, Marco Namela is about to start the final lap.
Let's see if we can see anybody waving a surrender flag. Not with that camera angle. Should see it on the... Yeah, there he is. Look, Barney going at it in the top corner there. Let's go back to that battle again, because it's already reduced in gap size. So let's see what happens on this last lap.
Well, yeah, he's got 2 more attempts in my book.
Well, into the bone of the pork chop turn and then out of it.
No, going in, and then obviously the chicane at the end of the not straight.
All right, yeah. He's got his lines better through there this time. A really good line coming out of there.
He's defending.
Brakes at the same time. This is a repeat of a previous lap. Now then, can he get any kind of drive off this corner? I think they're pretty equal, you know.
Yeah, Tony's got to stay defensive. And he is.
I think Marco finished ages ago, by the way. Oh, he's doing the crossover. He's not going to manage this, though. There's not enough track, is there?
No.
I don't think there is. That's a brilliant bit of racing between them, though.
Yeah, that was a stout.
Oh, is he going to do... Oh, the finish line's way back there, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that was a stout defence, that was.
It certainly was.
So, yes, Marco Nemela came across the line in first position. Stephen Walker coming across in second. And Kevin Vimont is going to take the third step on the podium.
Yeah, great result for Stephen and for Kevin. Incident-free, lap after lap. Just Rick Verhoek to finish with a beaten and battered Ferrari there. But he's made it to the end. And he's done it as a top 10 finish, Clyde.
And yes, not much left of that car. Oh, what's going on? Sorry, thought my Discord had gone all weird and funky then. In fact, it has.
All right, why was it done?
That's all right, I'm back.
All right, cool.
I'm back. I've got it back. Okay, so let's just wait for the session, and there we go. So your official finishing order for round 4. Marco Nemela for Glacier Racing takes home the win, with Spectre 6's Stephen Walker in second. Kevin Viermont takes the third step on the podium for Mika Esports. Matt Elmore was fourth, with Russell Cowell in fifth. Anthony Jacobson with a fantastic sixth place. Jason Haddington seventh. Carl Hardy in 8th, Rick Verhoek in 9th, Tony Walker 10th, Shane Powell 11th, Andy Littler in 12th, and Jason Morris retired early and is classified 13th. So, interesting race, Pete, in that Marco Nemela fastest lap in practice, fastest lap in quali, disappeared from the get-go. Stephen Walker, although behind Marco Nemela, disappeared in second place, and then the battle was third place and backwards.
The first 3 got there by having nice, clean races, and I think everybody from fourth down had something happen at some point. And I think that defined a few people's races, to be honest. Jason Morris, obviously, there's not a lot you can do if your VR set, decides to betray you. Andy Littler had quite a number of small incidents that mounted up to pit stops. Shane Powell seemed to have real handling issues all the way through with that Mercedes-Benz. Tony Walker, he had his own incidents along the way, which put him back where he was. We saw Rick Verhoek crawling over the line at the end there with a damaged Ferrari. That each of them, you can say, had something. They got caught out by something on the track, each of them, apart from the top 3.
Yeah, and not blowing our own trumpet, but we called it before the race even started. It is one of those tracks that you get comfy at your own peril, because this track can bite, and it may not be a big crash. It like I said, it may just be one of those grassy excursions that takes you forever to get back on the track, or it could be a big crash because we see a few of them. But yeah, great race I thought. Well, at the moment, there's only Mr. Walker that wants to talk to us. So let's bring in our second place driver, Stephen Walker. Welcome to the booth. How tired are you?
Uh, yeah, very. That's a pretty draining track to do that many laps at this time of night when it's quite warm.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, trying to chase down a flying Finn as well. We see that you didn't. Say, I was going to say we see that you didn't settle for second place. You wasn't holding back, was you? You were still going for it for the whole race.
I, uh, I was, and then I had an incident with someone I was lapping, and that gave me then the incident points was a bit too close to the drive-through limit, so I had to drive within myself a little bit. Um, and I physically couldn't go any quicker. It was good fun, but I was never catching Marco, but I was just trying to stay ahead of the guys behind because they weren't slow either.
And Marco being that far ahead, should we say, at the moment. We were saying in the broadcast, is that a carrot for you? Is it does that go right? I need to go quicker. I want to go quicker. I want to get closer to this guy, or do you go the other way and go, look, there's no way I'm touching him unless he makes a mistake. I'm just gonna race for second place every race.
Um, it's a mixture of both, if I'm honest. We had a practice session up, and I was way off then, and I did a little bit more practice and messed about with the tune and the setup a bit more. And then I was a bit closer in the race session. My pace was a bit quicker, but it was still, I think, 7 tenths to a second slower than him, depending on the lap. And yeah, I think it's a mixture of my car probably could have had a better setup, and he's just a better driver. Like if I'm going to make any ground up in, I'd have to put in loads and loads of time, which I just don't have during the week or anything like that. I think he can do a bit of practice and he's naturally that quick, which is fine. A lot of people are like that, but I can't. To really push that to that his level, I'd really have to spend a lot of time in that car, and I just don't have the time to do it. Like I'm happy to try and learn from him where I can, and just do my best. That's all I can do, really.
Well, I'll tell you what. I'll give you a carrot because I'm such a bad racer. I always have to look for silver linings in things. He was 1.1 seconds quicker than you in qualifying, which would mean at the end of a 69 lap race, he should have been. Where would he have been? A minute and a half ahead of you? But he wasn't.
Yeah. I mean, I'll take anything I can get, to be honest.
There you go. So there's the first one for you. But no, seriously, we know what a good driver Marco is. But you're still trying to take it to him. So let's hope that continues. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yeah, obviously you guys for putting it on. I appreciate it. I know it's pretty hot in the summer, so I'm hoping the next few rounds more people will come back. I know there's a lot of people on holidays and things like that, so I'm not too fussed about that. I think the grid will get back to how it was. Rest of my team, I think they had a good race. My brother, his computer crashed halfway through, and he still came back and finished the race, so happy for that. And Marco, just well done. He's just super quick.
Yeah, and on your brother, watch the last couple of laps. Somebody's been teaching him how to defend, we think.
Maybe, but it goes back to
Yeah.
the PlayStation 2.
Excellent. All right. Well, congratulations on your second place, Stephen Walker.
Cheers, guys. Thank you.
Okay, Pete, not very often I get to give you the winner, but he's popped in the booth. So let's welcome to the booth our race winner, Marco Nemela.
Good evening, Marco. How are you doing?
I'm good.
Excellent stuff. So that was a flag to flag race. We didn't see you flinch at all throughout the whole thing. Cool, calm, calculated. Was it exactly like that inside the helmet?
No, on
Yeah.
lap 10, I noticed I haven't calculated how much fuel I need. So
Right.
I
Okay.
started doing the calculations. And then on the pits, I forgot to untick my tires and I changed one tire.
Ah, right. Which one was it? Was it a favourable one?
No, it was front left. So every
So
time I
don't need
turned the
that.
car, it started to throw the rear around.
Oh man. Okay. So
Didn't
not
Sam
without
Blease,
dramas.
sorry, Pete, didn't
No,
Sam Blease win a race by changing one tyre?
he did. Yeah. Maybe that's the thing to do, Clyde.
Well,
Change
yeah,
one
you heard
tyre.
it here first.
Yeah. Other than that, though, we saw you very, and Clyde commented on it in the race. You were very calm and careful going round any of the back markers that you encountered. Was it? Did you find it an easy race to race?
Yeah, I like the track. It's a challenge to just to drive around. But with the back markers, yeah, they gave like they told what they want to do and all that, so it was pretty easy. So yeah.
No, that's good. And let me have a look at what the standings were. Unless Clyde's already been in there, but he hasn't, so that's
No, I
good.
haven't.
No, so that should put you. Well, it depends on your incident points, really, doesn't it?
5.
5. Oh, right. So you may well be on very, very similar points now to Stephen, with a drop round included. But you'll definitely be ahead of him, I think, on total points. So we'll have to see what that does to the standings. You're controlling this pretty well at the minute, aren't you, in terms of race victories? But we were saying earlier that it only takes one incident in a race, and that could all change. Is there any tracks that we go to which might cause you to have any problems at all?
I like all the tracks, so it shouldn't be a problem. It's just like I think this one was the most dangerous one because the bumpy nature of the track and you need to take the curbs to be fast and but yeah, I don't know, maybe Phillip Island is also where you can drop a wheel and screw your race that way, but I don't know. It's I'm starting to really like the car too, so yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, we can tell. I mean, you are absolutely throwing it into a lot of these corners with utter confidence. So, whatever setup you've got going on really suits you. Do you make your own setups or do you find them in other locations?
I make my own, but I usually start practicing with iRacing baseline or BRS one. But
Cool.
yeah, it's like before the race, I noticed that I was sliding a lot, so I just added wing just to make sure I don't spin it. So
hmm I thought you were driving with no wing at all. You were going that fast. Um, in round 8, which is November the 6th, we go to Bathurst, which, as Clyde will tell you, is a track that I find really easy. Isn't that right, Clyde?
Yeah, because you've only ever done the first 3 turns.
um, that's riddled with danger for you, isn't it? If you get tied up with a back marker or even in a first lap um, race with somebody who's battling with you. Do you see anybody in the league at the minute that could battle you into the first few turns at Bathurst?
yeah, I think like Steven, Kevin, and yeah, there is guys that can battle me. So it's just like these first rounds, like well, Le Mans and this one is like my favorites. So yeah, it's the next ones are a little bit more unknown, but I still like the tracks.
Cool. No, that's good. Um, Anybody you'd like to have a shout out to before we let you go and celebrate your victory tonight?
All the drivers, you guys doing the broadcast and whole league, and yeah, thanks.
Always impressive to watch you race, Marco. You make it look ever so easy. Thank you very much for tonight, Marco Nemela.
Thanks.
Oh, I thought he was unflushable then. Right, okay. So our third place driver, Kevin Veermont, has joined us. Welcome to the booth.
Hey.
Hello, Kevin. So, tell us all about your race.
It's a very good race for me because I have no try this track and I uh, I have a good pace and a good race and I'm first of your human driver.
Yeah.
The normal Marco and Steven are the alien.
Yeah, but you had a great battle with Matt Elmore for many,
Yes,
many laps.
yes. I um, I don't I don't think um, Matt pace, and I prefer let pass Matt for for me. For the turn 3 is very difficult for me, and I prefer Matt front of me for the braking zone, and it's more easy for the for the pace. And I Matt um, Matt take
Well,
oh,
it worked out for you in the end, didn't it? With Matt's accident, it would have been
yes,
very interesting to see if you two was going to battle all the way to the end, because you did. Although you were saying, you think Matt was a bit quicker than you, I think the Porsche was a bit more nimble than the big BMW round this track.
yes. I in the start of the race, Matt is faster than me, and after Matt, I looked the BMW. Uh, the BMW is very loose for Matt, and I I think Matt make a mistake during the race because he's very push hard for for create a gap with me, and me are in the safe fuel. The It's
Yeah,
all.
well, it's like I say, it was a fascinating battle between you and Matt. Hopefully that goes on for the rest of the season, and also hopefully you get your teammate back, so you
Yes,
can start practicing together. Because I think we saw that in our other series, didn't we? That once you two start practicing together, your times certainly come down.
yes. Romain come back the next race, and it's uh, it's very happy because with Romain we have a lot of practice for. He push me up, and I push he up because we are teammate, yeah, but Romain and me uh, want the best driver of the team. And is a clean battle between Romain and me.
Well, we certainly look forward to that. Any shout outs you want to give before we let you go?
Yes, I would like thanks all partner No Life, Closing, nuage+.com and Noroto and the team for the little practice and Romain for the comeback.
Excellent. Well, always a pleasure to talk to you, Kevin, and congratulations on your third spot on the podium. And we'll see you next time out.
Yeah, see you next time.
Okay, Pete. So that just leaves you to in the booth, the man with the widest car in the world. It's Matt Elmore.
Good evening, Matt. How you doing?
Oh, sorry, I was still asleep.
Certainly weren't asleep when you were racing.
Yeah, coming down the hill.
Yeah, he was once.
Yeah, he was once.
Yeah.
So we've just heard from Kevin, who said he preferred to be behind you because you were dangerous. No, he didn't say that. He said he preferred to be behind you because he thought you were a bit faster than him, and he wanted you. He wanted you to be in front, going in particularly into turn 3. And then other things happened along the way. But you were having a good little battle with Kevin for quite a long time before whatever happened. So talk us through that.
I think he liked to stay behind me because I got a big fat bum and he could save lots of fuel.
I think that also had a lot to do with it. Clyde was saying exactly that.
Yeah.
So when you did eventually part company with Traction, what was the cause of that?
I was bored. To be honest with you, I don't know. I couldn't get in the rhythm, and I started losing my focus. And all of a sudden, the back end was like, "Oh, hello, I'm coming round," and that was it. I'm done.
Right. Okay. Well, we've all been there, especially at this track. Did you find this one quite a challenge?
To be fair, I couldn't get in. I couldn't get into the rhythm. I wasn't really feeling it. I mean, I was quite glad that Kev come with me. I thought he was going to beat me overall in the race because that Porsche's quite good. I mean, there's got to be a reason why there's only one BMW on the field.
Yeah.
Because there's not enough metal in the world to make another one.
Well,
Yeah, no,
it's
it's
quite wide, isn't it?
No, that was pretty good racing from the two of you. And then towards the end of the race, I can't remember exactly where you finished now.
Fourth.
Fourth. Yeah, you still chased down a podium in the end, didn't you?
Yeah, well, Russ said to me that he was catching me, and I could see the time coming down to 10 seconds. I was like, nah, because I was taking it really easy. I had 11 incident points, and I thought, right, I'm putting it down a little bit. So I did a couple of mid-18s just to try and get it above the 10 and got it at about 11, 12 seconds. But I had more pace. I was just worried about getting a drive through.
Right, yeah. And I think lots of people were. We're just watching your slide into the S's, the big
Yeah, thank you.
twitch as you went both ways, and then
Yeah,
argued with the car for a few moments, and the car decided it was going to be right.
I just lost all concentration. Just totally didn't hit my mark or anything. Yeah, well, bang, there you go. And then I did say to Wook, I said I'm going to have to pit. My car's knackered, but I think I just burnt my tyres for a few laps because it felt decent after that, to be honest.
Right, yeah. And then in the end, you're going to get quite a nice points haul from that, aren't you?
Well, yeah, minus 11 for the incident points though.
Well, there is that. That's called tax. It's called racing tax, I think. Where are you in the standings? I can't remember what Clyde said at the start.
I missed the race. I'm not really anywhere. I don't think.
You're in 12th at the minute, but you'll get a massive haul on all the people that aren't here today for a start, and some that had a worse end result than you. Next time out, we go to, I've forgotten, even though I said it recently. Phillip Island. Is that a track where you're good to go?
No.
No, right, okay, that's fairly emphatic.
No, I don't like the track at all. I like the walls.
You like the walls up? Bathurst will be great for you in November then.
Oh yeah, I'm not going to finish that race.
At least you're open about it straight from the get-go.
If I finish, it'll be a small miracle.
Anybody you'd like to thank before we let you go and get a shower or whatever you need to do on this warm night?
I'm just going to stay smelly tonight. But no, thanks to you lot for hosting. It's I'm just using this I don't drive the GT3, so I'm just using it as some practice. I want to start getting into them a little bit more. Cheers for my teammates for being there, doing the sessions. It goes well, gets us all going a little bit quicker, gives us all that little bit of a spur on.
Yeah, we saw you battling with, well, not battling as such, but racing with Russell and co towards the start and the middle of the race. Is it open season in Spectre 6? You can race each other?
We're open season on every single race.
Cool.
I mean, unless there's championships at stake, well, then we'll be a little bit more lenient. But now we're open season, and we'll have the banter in the team, and yeah, open season.
Brilliant. That's what we want to hear. Nothing worse than a sterile race, that has to be said. Well, brilliant. And we'll see you next time out at Phillip Island, and wish you all the best for that one. So, are you at Fuji in the week, are you?
Yeah, I've bought it. I haven't driven it, so I'm a bit worried.
I think we're all the same.
It's getting a bit spicy at the top of that championship now, and I can taste a possibility if Sam messes up. There's a possibility, outside chance.
Right, okay. Well, we'll have to see how that works out. Great racing tonight. Really enjoyed watching you dicing with Kevin and co. See you next time.
Yeah, cheers, lads.
Right, Pete. So that's the interviews done and dusted. That's round 4 of the Grand Touring Club Cup done and dusted. So in the next 7 days on BSTV, as Pete was just saying there, Wednesday we are in GT4 TCR action from the fabulously pretty Fuji Speedway. We'll wait and see whether that causes any of our drivers any issues. And then Saturday, we are back in V8 ESC action. There's a V8 revival going on at the moment. We are getting 30 plus car grids, and we go to the very tricky, tight Sandown. So that is going to be an awesome race. And then hopefully, and I say hopefully, we are doing the Poopcast on Sunday. However, there is a possibility that I might have to disappear on Sunday afternoon to wet Wales again because of work. So I will find out by Wednesday, and we'll know whether we're going to be doing that or not. So that's what's coming up for you in the next 7 days. Big thank you to all the drivers that turned up tonight and put on such a fantastic show. Big thanks to everybody that joins in on the chat. It's always great to hear from everybody, and we know people watch different things. So, you know, when we miss things, somebody on the chat always picks it up. Big thanks to Pete for doing the cameras and joining me on commentary. It just leaves me to say goodnight to everybody, and then we can close the broadcast and we can all get ready to go to bed and get up for work in the morning. So thanks for watching, everybody.
Just one thing, Clyde.
Go on.
I haven't voted for my driver of the evening.
Oh, do we do that in this one?
Yeah.
Oh no. Oh no.
You've done a
Of
me.
course we do.
You've done a me.
Sorry. Scratch that. We'll edit that out. Let me get the
Good job it's not
screen
live.
Well, I'll tell you what, Pete. As you're so keen, you can go first.
Oh, brilliant. Well, I have been thinking about it, and my two options, as I see it, is Kevin Viermont for doing a tactician's race and sitting behind Matt Elmore for as long as he could, or it's Anthony Jacobson, who, whilst he did have a problem, he still finished in 6th place, up 6 places from the start. Or it's Tony Walker for having issues outside the racing and continuing to finish the race, and it was quite early on. So on the basis that he's embodied, and for the defendant at the end, of course, on the basis that he's embodied some BSTV quality characteristics, I'm going to vote for Tony Walker.
Okay, so Pete's vote goes to Tony. Now, my shortlist was everybody you said and Marco Namela for a stunning win with what we thought was 0 mistakes. But but I can't vote for the winner, so that ain't happening. Kevin Veermont, yes, a very tactful race, and you know, a great podium finish. I totally agree with Anthony Jacobson with his 6th place finish. And you know, I initially, before you voted for him, Tony Walker was going to get my vote, because, like you said, you know, he came back from adversity, and the defending at the end. But because there's so many to choose from tonight, I'm not going to double vote with Tony. So I'm going to give my vote to Anthony Jacobson, because I thought that was an absolutely fantastic drive from him. Like you say, he did have an issue, but got it sorted, and he was there finishing in possibly his best finish so far, and in that Ferrari that just didn't seem very quick round here. So congratulations to Tony and Anthony. Apologies for that, it's my wife trying to ring me. Oh, and it won't shut up. Why won't you shut up?
That's right, folks. He's got such a big house that they have to phone each other.
No, my wife is actually away at the moment doing her dog showing stuff. So yeah, it's a bit of tough titties for her. So yes, I can now finally say goodnight to everybody. Thanks to Pete. Thanks to everybody else that I already mentioned. If you caught my blooper earlier on. Thanks for watching this broadcast. Make sure you drop the video a like. Make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel if you haven't already. And make sure you follow us on Facebook. Stay safe and good night, everybody.
Yeah, good night, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.